Hi guys, this is Allison from Allykatkreations. Here goes my camera again. Sorry about that, guys. It's doing it again. Hi, everybody. I'm Allison from Allykatkreations. How are you? Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you have yet to do so. And if you get anything from my work, a connect the dot, an epiphany, a mind-blown moment, a new book to read, a new author to explore, please consider supporting my work. All that is in the description of this video. And you can check out my website, AllyKatzkreations211.com. The link is there. Check out really amazing things. I have candles. I hand make. I am making some hair clips. I got hearts. I got frames. And thanks to the Viking, my Valentine's Day present was a bit late, but he got me a cricket. So I'm going to see if I can make some decals for these and have them model. Anywho, crazy, batshit few days. I know a lot of people feel like I do too. I don't even know where to begin. I know I had a very large interrupting rant during the quantum AI and metaphysical pondings video, because things were not okay. As much as I could transmute and change my energy and just, there are some people and some things that I have to put my foot down to because, and I have all kinds of weapons around me. I'm not somebody who idly sits by and thinks that nothing is going to happen to them in realistic reality, this realm of existence. I'm the warrior in the garden. Always have been. I don't sit idly by and let people walk all over me, disrespect me, or make the illusion like they didn't say anything that was harmful because they're just venting their verbal spew. I think people could take something away from that experience, and the last couple of days I've been channeling non-stop and not on a video or anything. I listened to Linda Good McGillis, who is on the something experience. Sorry, Jill Butler experience, I think it is. Really impactful, very impactful messages in that. I will see if I can find the video and link it in the description so you can watch it for yourself. I didn't really take notes because I was really trying to absorb the 2 times that I've listened to it, and once it was not home. So I really wanted to absorb that. I didn't get sleep last night. I'm exhausted. Had a busy day today, and I've been channeling a lot. And unfortunately, I didn't record it. I thought I did. But that's okay. I was in trance, and I don't do that often. I don't like that. It's not what I like to do. So the things that I recall, or what they're going to tell me now, is you got to take any situation as a piece of artwork. I went to art school. This is the easiest thing for me to explain clearly to people. Okay, so a lot of people see the things in the back. You might not like that. That might not be your cup of tea, right? There's a way of being constructive with your wording and destructive. And I'm going to give you an example. That looks like that belongs in grandma's shed in the redneck part of the armpit of America. It looks like a piece of shit flew on it and the composition sucks. That's destructive. And I could have ripped I could rip my own pieces apart. I don't give a shit. But I'm just giving you an example. I've walked into multiple galleries, and in art school, we had to be trained to criticize other people's work without ripping them a new one, and do it in a way that was constructive, that gave them help. That, you know, they don't free will, they could take the advice or not. But I know whenever someone was critiquing my artwork, and my teacher would come over and say, well, I agree with that person. If you add a couple of this and that and the other thing to your painting, it would make it pop a bit better. And maybe you need to add a little bit more fluff in the foreground, so that there's transition easing with the eye. That's constructive. So what happened, the shit show, whatever you want to call it, people don't realize when even if you're voicing your opinion and it is constructive, people just lose that. They go in their animal instinct mind to say, well, I'm going to defend, or I'm going to, and just because I could speak, and I'm just going to voice my opinion, and I'm just going to rip somebody a new butthole without knowing them, without knowing the bigger picture and the larger picture and the circumstances thereof. And we have to really keep in mind that when you are on a free social media, it's nothing of yours is free, even your words, because they're spell casting. If you're projecting negatively because you need to vent, because you just need to get it off your chest, there's other constructive ways to be doing that, like in a journal, or typing it down but never pressing print, or writing something out and then burning it because you need to get it released. I don't really think people realize the effect of your opinion, which is probably very sound and valid. I'm not taking anybody's opinion away from them. It's how you're wording things that really make a distinction between, should I add to the madness, or should I just keep that there and that's someone's opinion and move on, which would be the smarter choice when it came to the situation at hand. I think slandering people, ripping people, making accusations and assumptions is wrong. I know what people see. What are you feeling? Are you taking the pause? Are you seeing a greater picture? Do you understand other people's circumstances that you don't know? You might see them in a podcast, you might see them in a chat. And a lot of people that watch me actually know me personally, could tell you a lot about me. But that's the old self that they remember. They don't know the me that's here, but they have a bigger, broader picture of me, and know my character and know my moral set, and they know what I've been through because they saw it in real life, right? People who are watching me and never met me before in person are only getting a snapshot of my life. I tell everybody a lot, but there's still things I don't divulge. It's no one's business unless you're here and you're in it to win it with me, right? And that's, take my situation and apply it to yours. There could have been a fight. Someone could have said something. Banter in the office. Whatever it is. Be constructive with your words. Be the bigger person. Why do we have to go into animal instincts all the time and lower ourselves? That doesn't reflect well on you. But you're also putting a state of flux of energy waves out into the ether that other people are feeding, and that creates thought forms. I also was attacked the last 2 days because I was channeling on a higher end. I am bringing in a lot of different fractals into my being, and of course, everybody's like, ugh. And that energy is batting me down. I am exhausted. I'm like, oh, poofy. as much water as I've been drinking, and I put Celtic sea salt in there. I'm trying. Things are very much in flux right now. Linda was talking a lot about that what is coming is almost here. And I keep saying this in every one of my videos, and that's without someone saying, another person saying it. I think Honey C. Golden is also another person saying it. It's like, critical mass of the awakening is here. It's coming. It's been happening to many of us. But what I like what Linda says is that God doesn't have any favorites. So if you think me having my veil dropped to a larger extent than most other people, that I have abilities and I could do X, Y, and Z, I want to share that God doesn't have favorites. I signed up to have this experience in order to be prepared to step in my next role. And I needed the time and the experiences, the catalysts to happen to me in order for me to be a sound reason and soundboard for other people. And I'm not alone, because a lot of you are like me. A lot of you are like me. And it's not about proving right or wrong. Our roles coming in is going to be very soon, and we need a lot of rest. We have our own purging to do. We have our own integrations of our fractals to come. There's a lot of profound things happening. It's not just to me. It's happening to a lot more people, but I'm kind of used to having a few days of, I have head pressure. What's going on? What did I do yesterday that was profound? Oh, yes. I took a shower, and I have one of those outdoor like speakers, like, it looks like a boombox kind of thing. It's the small ones, it's Bluetooth. I put it next to my shower, like not in the shower, not on the shower, but like right up against this, like a bathtub. I live in an old house. So I put that close enough to the bathtub, and I put on, Linda was saying to put on 174 hertz. And that's usually taking away pain and your lymphatic system. So I figured, let me listen to this. Let me give it a try. I do listen to a lot of frequency, but there was a profound effect when I got out of that shower. Like, I usually like to listen to music when I shower. It's usually washed away and washed out because of the water and what I focus in with my water and meditating. But when I played the frequency closer to the tub, and it was vibrating off the tub, and then it was vibrating my body, next level. And then the echo of the frequency was hitting me, next level. So I just want to give that as a suggestion to people. And I don't think it needs to be, 174. I think it could be anything that you resonate with, your heart aligns with. Go and see if you can get some really cheap. Five Below probably has, Amazon sometimes has them on sale. A Bluetooth speaker that could be waterproof. I have it's waterproof, but I don't play around with that stuff. And I linked my phone, and I had that music blaring on high. And when I got it out of there, I felt a profound difference. Not necessarily wasn't in pain. I always have some kind of purging to do, but I felt released. It's a weird feeling. So if you like to listen to binaural beats or at certain hertz, and especially healing modality hertz, try bringing that into the shower. I know not everybody has the luxury of having a bathtub. Mine is absolutely tiny, and I think my hot tub is broken. It's very deflated. It still has a lot of water in it. It's been too cold to empty it and clean it out. It's been warm, but it's been like really, 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 really cold at night. So I don't want anything wrong with my foundation. But I listened to the binaural beats when I was meditating in that hot tub outside. In my house, a tiny tub, but it still works because you're taking in the light energy, you're envisioning things, I'm hoping, when you take a shower and working on yourself. I just figured that's something that I, never had experience before with that hurts, putting it in closer to the tub, feeling the vibration and doing my normal shower shit. But like, I felt weird after that. And then yesterday, before I went to the Vikings, I like, Morgan isn't really feeling good. She's not doing so good. So I put that same Hertz on the beanbag. I've been sleeping on the beanbag with her because she can't get up on my bed or the stairs anymore. It's been really difficult for her. So she lays on a pillow on my beanbag. It's big ones. So I put the same little idea that I took in the shower, I put it on the beanbag, and I blared that frequency vibratorily next to her. She didn't necessarily like the sound. Obviously, cats hear different things, but I think it's something to try with your pets. Like, try to find the frequencies of healing and get a speaker that could give off that vibratory state. It could help. I know a lot of people talk about all these fanciful machines and stuff. I think I got an Amazon deal for the one that I have, and it was like maybe $50. I mean, I know that's a lot for a lot of people right now, but try. I mean, even if you wear headphones, I was just, my experiment was like trying to get the frequency in my body, not necessarily my ears. And yes, hearing it is a definite necessary, but it's just something to try. I don't think it harms anybody to try. And I hope if you guys do try that, please let me know in the comments. Like, yeah, today I took a shower and I brought my little speaker in, and wow, like, tell me what you put your Hertz on and the experience that you had in the shower or in the bathtub. I think it's important that we share what works and what's not working. I know for me, I don't, I'm stiff and everything, and it wasn't about necessarily taking away pain, but I did feel different. So let me know what you guys think. Try it, please. This morning on Poppy, before I left, he spoke about mindset, and this book was given to me actually by my employer back when I worked in the New York City school system. So I didn't have to buy it. I got given it, and it's worth buying. This is really worth getting, because, in a school setting, we're also, we work on ourselves, but we're trying to promote growth mindset with children and how to foster that kind of mindset. But we could take that a step further. As Poppy was speaking this morning, proves Poppy, if you want to check him out, he's on Unpopular Viewpoint or Higher Viewpoint on YouTube. It's worth watching him because he's also doing really good work. You have to change your way of thinking. I've been talking about this on this channel in every one of my videos. It's all in your mindset. And you could tell the people who are doing the work, who are listening and expanding in their own consciousness, to understand that there's an infinitude of learning to go. This is just one school, one reality of training, and then we move up to graduate to another school, wherever that may fall. And there's no right or wrong, and I couldn't tell any one particular person where they're going to land. It's not my business. It's your soul contract, not necessarily mine. I unfortunately, people with abilities have a hard time reading for themselves, seeing their Akash in a totality type sense, because that would also be infringing on some free will, because it's up to you to raise your frequency to the extent that you're hitting where you need to be. And you're always where you need to be. You are a source. It's just a matter of your mindset and moving and shifting in a direction that is healthy. As much as we all want to bring out the injustices that have done and has been done, it's been done since the beginning of this experiment. And we got to foster the here and the now. We're here and now. We're not back there. We concurrently are in other realms. But right now, where we are is, where are we focused on, and how are we doing to grow our minds, expanding, evolving our consciousness? Are you being open-minded? Are you still in fear? Are you coming about things in love? Are you recognizing your shadow? These are the things that I've been trying to impart on people, is be constructive. I can rip my own pieces apart because I know what I could do better. But if you see somebody, what would you, here's a better example. There's a child drawing, it's not great, right? You're looking at it and it's like, theirs is better. What are you going to tell that kid? Are you going to encourage them? Are you going to say that's the best drawing you've ever seen and make them feel elated and make them feel good about themselves, give them some spark of life? Or are you going to bash them and criticize them and make them feel like a piece of shit? This is what we need to be doing in this society right now, is, okay, there are people that we don't know nothing about. How are you just judging them? We need to get out of the judgment. Well, they're speaking all kinds of information, Allison, and they need to be exposed because they're bad people. Who are you to judge what other people need to wake up? There are a lot of us who, thankfully, a collective of beautiful souls woke us up to paradigms, meaning I knew the government was bad. I always had that knowing, but for me, I was always spiritually and galactically awake. I was aware of aliens when I was a little kid. I showed you, I have books from 4th grade. But in political avenues, Jason and Jack woke me up to a bunch of stuff that I wasn't aware of. James Rink woke me up to the SSP stuff that I might very well have had past lives in that time frame, and been a part of programs and stuff that I still yet am aware of, right? We are getting our memories and they're all coming in different clips. For me, my journey started when I was a little kid, waking up and seeing demons and having things manifest in my hand that was material, that was gore and gross. They were trying to scare me. They were trying to get my light and they could never get it. They tried really hard, but I'm here, right? then the past lives have always been rerunning in my dreams as a kid, and I used to write that stuff down. So I was always aware of my multidimensional self to an extent, and that's past life stuff. I knew coming in that I was going to break two family curses, that being my biological family and that also being my adoptive family. I was the one coming in to be the greatest catalyst for change and for expanded thinking. That I was going to break the mold in my parents' religious thinking and indoctrination. I was here to break the mold for a lot of things in my family dynamics. Whether I'm talking to them or not, I still was the one to break a lot of things. A lot of us are like that. So don't feel like you're being isolated, your family is horrible. No, they're here for an experience, and you might be the one giving it to them, and you're just learning a little bit of the experience that they're gaining, but they're gaining a very huge lesson in karma. So we have to realize that not all the time, everything is an experience that you're walking through and experiencing. But most of the time, a lot of us are the ones giving the catalyst to others for their growth. You're already grown. You're always continually growing, but you're helping people in a lower vibratory state, which is equal to yours. It's just a matter of where the wave is on the scale. And most of the time, most of us are up here vibrating back and forth, while some people are doing the big roller coaster up and down. So if you can mentally keep your mindset and your vibratory state, you're always going to be in flux, but you are not going to be, you're just going to day to day, you're going to be better of an anchor to help other people. Next came in the starseed stuff. Well, everybody was like obsessed with certain people and books and all that stuff. Oh, I'm from this place, I'm from that place. But we always compartmentalize these things as that is just the me, and that is all what my soul is. I walked through this. I know very much so that's not the truth. And that took me for a long time to figure that out. And then I started doing some different types of meditation that brought into an understanding of what my light body looks like. And then it was validated by other people when we were all trying to protect a group of people. People saw what I look like, and I saw what they look like. So we are being shown so many things. You're not just a starseed. You are a part of the starseed collective. Most people are. But you're also a part of the divinity that makes up time, space. You're also your higher self. You are also the guides and the lower forms. The other day, I got confirmation that Morgan Cat is my half my soul. She's my 2D form. Have you ever looked at that, at your animals? And yeah, well, a lot of us go through a hell of a lot of animals, but there's always just one that we call familiar. And not to say that your animals don't have chunks of your soul, it's just a larger component of your fractal, of your infinitude, your everything. It has a little bit more than other animals. Some animals come here as protectors. Some animals come here as familiars. You're here to teach them. They self-identify. Have you ever seen a dog or a cat or any other kind of animal, not just picking dog, cat, but even birds? They can self-identify in a mirror. They're looking at themselves and they know they're not screaming and jumping back and scared. They know what they're looking at. They're looking at themselves. That's self-identification. That is their density. That's their density, is self-identifying. identifying self, understanding what that is. And you're on this quest, your entire cycle here on Earth in third density to figure out who you really are, when you should figure out, embody, and embrace and absorb the fact that you are source and you are everything. You're a bigger picture than when you think. This is just a vehicle that your soul is having an experience in for source to experience itself. The other day, this is what I've been kind of channeling. I said this on the last video, that I am from the raw social memory complex. At some point in one of my journeys, I was a part of them. I don't know what I embodied and what name I embodied. I don't have that information, but it's no wonder why I have an affinity to the law of one and to the Hermetic principles. And why I sound like identical in many instances to other people who can channel that raw quo. I sound very familiar. My language is very similar to theirs when they are tapping into that collective and when they're speaking in general. I'm part of the Christ consciousness. I am picking and plucking information out of the ether. And there's a lot the last 3 days I've been activated with, and trying to understand the greater purpose in the role that I have, because I was frustrated. I don't like to be dismissed. I don't like to be seen as a child that's ignorant and that I'm taking things away from you. You are the only one that takes anything away from yourself. We all have choices. Are you imparting your choices, or are you allowing other people to dictate what those choices are? If I don't like something, I scroll past it, but because of the role that I play, I have to look at it. And I had a conversation with with a particular person that I'm like, I don't think I could do this anymore. It's not because I don't love everybody. It's because I can't deal with the ignorance anymore. People can't let things go. People are focusing on specific things. That why are you allowing that to rent space in your mind is way beyond me. Sorry. You allowing a person to rent that much space in your brain is insane. You know who should rent space in your brain? You. As I'm reading Reconstructing Reality, I'm still going through the shadow aspect. Holy shit. That is dark. And of course, the soul keeps saying, you needed this to have an experience. You needed this to learn. You needed this for soul growth. When you detach emotional states to things, and of course, you're human, you're going to feel it. It's going to suck. We all chose the suffering of certain things to wake us up, to learn the lesson. It's up to you if you choose, if you want to suffer. How do you walk out of that suffering? Choose to detach your emotional states. See everything as a learning experience. Sorry, I have to readjust my camera, guys. What I'm trying to get at is you need to take a step back to see the greater picture of everything you're made up of. And that's a lot of things. And right now, you're going to start getting more information about yourself. Are you prepared? And some of those things might not be the best and your highest. They might be shadow components of yourself. I just heard Honey C. Golden talk about that. She had a shadow aspect come that needed to be integrated into her and healed. I know I had a few of those myself. We have to realize the other aspect of source playing the negative role is the ones who awoke in us. In a fractalized sense, because again, the veil was lifted for some of us and others not so much. You're all and are all awake. Linda, stressed that very profoundly this video I watched of her. We've always been awake. It's about expanding the consciousness to the point where you start understanding and interpreting and perceiving. We already raised, we already moved. It's just a matter of our bodies and our minds meeting that energy to see it. Unfortunately, humans need to see things before they feel them. We need a lot of the fear of what's to be is because and things are not transpiring the way we thought they were. It's because there's too much fear. There's too much fear frequency going out and around, and we're not building the light and the love and the authenticity frequency to just take the leap of faith and allow source, our higher selves, to guide us through the storm, the darkness. We have to be our own light bringers. We have to illuminate things for ourselves, and not all the time is there going to be somebody that's going to help you, guide you there. I know a lot of my journey has been done alone, and I have had help. But it's not like another part of the hermit's journey is that when you are on the higher floors, there tends to be less and less people that are able to perceive the things that you can. People are not ready to take the giant leap to see the bigger picture. They just want to sit and keep in the stalemate of hate, divisiveness, and not wanting to move forward. They're afraid. We have to put boundaries up. I had to put mine up. But at the same breath, I give compassion to people who are not there yet. I give grace. But my patience was thin because of just how, instead of being destructive, some people were being constructive, but still in a very negative, harsh way. I don't think people realize how they project their words and the intention and frequency that others can feel that come off their words. It could be pretty, but it still could be done in a way that's like a shiv is being shoved in you. A lot of people don't realize how hard some of us really try to keep our own selves together. It's not easy receiving all these frequencies, and soon newer to awaken people that don't have a shred of a clue what half of us know in certain modalities levels, and they're going to be coming to you. And if you continuously hating on other people, why would they want to come to somebody who's always in judgment of others, not seeing a bigger picture, not knowing them personally, and you're making assumptions and slandering? Everybody has a bigger picture. Some are working for the white hats, some are working for the black hats, some are in strongholds where their lives will be taken if they divulge anything, and that they put someone else in the background, has, someone off screen is, it is the truth for a lot of people. We're watching a movie. We're in a game. It's about how you react to the game and what you do with your first-person shooter player, that you manipulate and go around the world in such a way that you're transmuting and alchemizing and coming to a 0 point, seeing the bigger picture, seeing how you can have a growth mindset and you can succeed and breeze by life instead of sitting and fearing and being in the suffering of experience. And yes, things are going to happen to you. Accidents are going to happen. Things are going to fall apart. But that's the stuff you wrote for yourself. And more people now are expressing that concept in different wording, but very much the same. What Linda was saying about the solar eclipse, coming in is it's activating a lot. Will it be a solar flare, a flash, a what, a who, a where, a when? I don't know. But I can tell you what, whatever you perceive it to be is going to be great. It's going to suck. It's going to affect you because we're going to have another purge. I know a lot of us right now, like I'm purely done. I'm exhausted. Like I could go to sleep right now if I wanted to, like an old person on a couch, you know, like the old grandpa guy on the, I could do that right now. I'm trying hard not to, but we have to give ourselves compassion. We have to give ourselves a break. We have to realize that we need rest. We need to recuperate. We need to do what our body is asking us to do. Okay, that there's no right or wrong in that answer. Whatever you need to do for yourself and try. And that's why I mentioned the frequency and what I tried to do for myself, that I just remembered I forgot Epsom salt. I used it all. I had to go out earlier, do some errands with other people's fun times. Sorry, I had the Vikings child text me. Yeah. I don't know. I again, a pondering. A pondering. A lot is going to be happening. We need to get prepared. And I think when we are diluting our minds and not necessarily diluting, everybody has their own path and their own journey to take. I just feel right now we all need to really step up our games. We all have an importance. And we're all spread across this beautiful expanse of reality for a reason. There are going to be so many people that you're going to be able to help. Not everybody's going to connect with me because not everybody likes me. Not everybody can connect with my frequency, but those that are on my frequency, I am connecting with. I am trying to help. I have a lot of friends that are super. And I did a video on this on the one friend that had a vivid dream and didn't know how to interpret it. That's a step. It doesn't need to be in what you apparently know, but you know enough to start helping. There are going to be people that are going to come to you. And if anything, just smile. And why do you care that they took something? Why are you judging people for that? Yeah, I was heavily, my whole life changed for that. My entire life changed like a drop of a dime. And those people thought I was going to kill them. Literally, really felt like I was going to kill them. Do you know how harmful and hurtful that was for me? To know people that I've worked with for over 8 years thought I was going to kill them, that I didn't care about them. Could be further from the truth. My own family, I'm not alone in talking like this, but I can't judge them for what God has them doing. I had to come to peace with that, a realization and understanding. I can't judge them for that choice. The only thing that I can do is give them love. And when they're ready to come to me and I'm being the bigger person, I'm being the grown up in the room, then I'll be able to help them in not in judgment. Because we're supposed to unify. You can't do that when you are excluding your other selves. You're excluding your soul tribe, your family. You're excluding the other portions of source having an experience. You know, this is something that might offend other people. I don't give a crap. I was in New York City in Manhattan during 9/11, And this is perspective. This is a huge perspective. No one looked at my ID to see what my last name was, to see what my religion was. No one that day could care the fuck less if you wearing a dress and you're a man, or you are gay, straight, whatever color you were. 9/11, everybody that could help was helping. And it doesn't matter what race, color, creed you were that day. No one was calling you a terrorist, and no one was calling and pointing fingers at you that you were everybody went into motion. The whole entire city was in an uproar because no one knew what was going to happen next. The fear was off the charts that day. I walked from 21st Street, 2nd Avenue, all the way to 50th and 10th West Side. That was over a 2.5-hour walk because there was no transportation. There was nothing. Everybody was evacuating buildings and in chaos. And from where I was able to tell people the Brooklyn Bridge is, you're able to walk over it. You're able to go over the bridges by walking if you need to get to Brooklyn, if you need to go over here. You know, I was able to help people that day that I didn't even know. I wasn't judging the homeless people. I wasn't judging the people that came out of Bellevue. I just did what I had to do. The same thing with Hurricane Sandy. I saw the devastation. I saw people getting their lives ripped apart. That's with any natural catastrophe. If you don't care what people's races or image, are you going to not help somebody on the floor because they're because that's how extreme some people really project their words, and that's how people are treating certain types of people, when that's still source and that's still you. So that's going to reflect back onto you and your character, that you might have to learn another lesson because of how hateful your heart has become for a specific race or person or place or thing. We need to stop this nonsense. We need to think bigger picture. Big picture. You're not going to care when something happens who pulls you out of the ditch. Who's the one that took the time to stop to see if you were alive in a catastrophe? Are you going to care that they're another color from you, or they speak another language from you? Are you going to care what religion they practice? Absolutely effing not. In the moment, you're just thankful that God showed up to save you. Really sink that in. Really understand that concept. I lived it twice. In the two worst, one was a humanity event of game-changing proportions. Another one was a natural disaster. I was one that didn't even think. I dropped and acted. I didn't fear. I had a calm head, and helping people who were panicked and nervous and didn't know what to do, or if somebody that they loved were in that building, if they were alive. That day, no one cared what you look like. If you were able to help somebody, they were grateful with so much gratitude and appreciation. The days and weeks after 9/11, people were searching for whatever they could figure out and find. People started running down there to help, not knowing if they were going to die themselves. There's a lot of selfless, amazing people that come out when horrible things happen. Are you going to be that person? Or are you going to sit back and you're going to be like, well, they did it, I'm not going to help them? Are you a service to others, or are you a service to yourself? And if you're walking the service to God path like I am, you're not looking at other people for their vehicle and what they were assigned, what they assigned themselves to. I'm going to look at their soul and see the beautiful entity inside that vehicle. We need to make better decisions in our thinking. We need to keep that mindset high. We need to grow. We need to expand. We need to explore. We need to drop the judgment, the anger, the hate, the divisiveness, because that is not anything serving the good. It's only serving the bad. When you put up a barrier in a wall and say, I don't condone this, and I don't want this in my paradigm, you stop thinking about it and your life gets a little better because you're attracting better things because you're putting that frequency out. When you're sitting and hating, and judging and thinking everything of another person and you're projecting it, that's what causes these demons and these horrible entities. I was surely attacked. I had my sage and I saged myself in the house. It thought forms. Let's stop creating the negative ones. Go and know thyself. Are you the selfless helper? Are you the one that's going to be someone's angel? Are you going to walk and intervene in somebody's life, helping them? Not putting it on social media. Someone gets in a car accident, 9 times out of 10, everybody's in a rush to get to work. But there are a few earth angels that stop to make sure that you're okay. Even though that you're fine, people do stop, and those are the angels embodied. Recognize their angel's embodiment. Be that person. I know I am. I've always been. I'm a very selfless. When something happens, I do what I can. Amish mindset. I might not have it financially, but I have clothes, I have jackets, I have things, I have some food. You know, I have things that I can sustain for myself, but if need be, I can hand out. I could pick someone up on their feet. I can give worldly, earthly advice. I can pull cards for people. What are you doing on your everyday basis to feed that light into your soul? What are you doing to recognize your soul? Today, I am in charge. Today, I am in control of how I feel. No one can make me feel any other way than happy. I'm tired, but I'm pretty happy. My boyfriend redeemed himself. I was a little, I had human expectations. I should have known better. And on Valentine's Day, I bought dinner and I drove everybody. And I was the one that did almost everything with gifting and exuding my love. And I didn't get much of an energy exchange back. And I don't expect an equal energy exchange with somebody that doesn't have it financially or because of circumstances happening in his life right now. But he made it up to me. He got me a cricket. So there's redemption there, but I had human expectations. I was a little upset, humanly upset for, rightfully so. I don't need material things to have someone express, but he doesn't love himself, so he can't express that back to me. And I don't need material things, but if I could use things that I can make things with or enjoy and use, that's okay. I have cards all over the floor. Today, I am receptive. Today, I will let go of the past. I will live in the present, and I am looking forward to a bright future. We need that. Commitment. The frequency of commitment supports our ability to devote ourselves in all aspects of our being and with unwavering belief. And Spirit is bringing it. I don't think they want me all to do all the cards, but some of these. Friendship. The energy of friendship supports our intrinsic desire for connection with others based on mutual affection and appreciation. We need to find the like-minded people, and especially with some of us on the higher stage of learning and understanding, it gets a little lonely up here. Though even though it's hard to reach out to people who are extremely busy, run a lot of channels and do Patreon and all that stuff, there are people that I sound just like, and it just validates and makes me feel better. I'm not alone. So even though you have family, friends, and people that might not share some of your paradigm, that's okay. It is absolutely okay. I have a mess, a literal mess on my desk, cards everywhere. Everywhere. So I'm being quiet. I'm Yeah, I'm being channeled again. I'm like tired, so have to control it. Not in the normal way that I do. Expanding abilities. Trusting your new path. All will work out for you. So, big leap of faith into the unknown. We have to take that. Be clear on what you want. Put action to your goals. Make them a reality. So, I say the very same thing. Past life emotion lives in you. You are expressing more. It is releasing. And this is happening with a lot of people right now. So, again, give yourself compassion and grace. The other day when I was getting a message, I pulled this card for myself, Theta of Venus, and holy shit. Profound. I cried. It spoke of what I am to a T. And that's just a fractal of me I was speaking about. What is the collective need, spirit, angels? Guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I am getting close to a nice number of people that like to watch me. Thank you. 2 years and growing. And this is just a pondering, so keeping this short. I am hoping for the full moon. I might be able to do an actual reading this time. Uninterrupted. I am a very sought out person sometimes. And I have to know where my balance is. I have yet to pull this card from this deck, so this must be good. Ivory, wish-fulfilling crow. I have not pulled this card yet, and I've had this deck for a few years. So this is kind of cool. You can have what you truly want. Such knowledge helps soften and release fear, grasping, control, and doubt. Have confidence that the universe hears your prayers and is even now leading you into that which you seek. You can take sanctuary within your spiritual connection whenever you need stabilization and protection against the fluctuations of the external world. No matter what is happening around you, there is a way through to the fulfillment of your potential. Usanda is a mysterious Hindu sage who assumes the form of a crow and lives atop the magical wish-fulfilling tree, thriving, whether there be feast or famine in the world. As a highly evolved supernatural being, he has outlived the ending of numerous world ages. No calamity or cataclysm can shake the powerful divine tree or the creatures who live within its shelter. The sacred tree is a place of sanctuary and protection, where no harm can befall any of its inhabitants. The wish-fulfilling tree is a spiritual symbol for the soul, the heart, and the divine bodhisattvas. Oh, I can't get that word out of my mouth properly. Or enlightened sages who guide and protect humanity. It represents a high level of consciousness, which is abundant and in harmony with the universe, and therefore blissful, free, and generous. This oracle reminds you that as you align with spirit, you are aligning with a powerful field of grace, which has protective and strengthening qualities. It is a spiritual tonic with effect in all dimensions and all realms of existence. The price for such sacred empowerment is the surrender of one's ego. This is a lifelong journey for most of us rather than a one-time event. Recondition our mind in the ways of spirit again and again. We disentangle our hearts from societal conditioning based in fear, dominance, greed, victimization of getting one's personal desires met at any cost. We recognize there is a profound difference between taking and receiving. We must trust in what is destined for us. Stories abound in the Hindu tradition of various wish-fulfilling manifestations, from goddesses to trees to cows and gems. When someone sought to possess the wish-fulfilling treasure for their own personal use, they would always be thwarted by higher spiritual intelligence of love, which cannot be controlled or manipulated, but remains as it is, pure and generously giving all that is needed to the receptive heart. Ivory is an organic material like bone, which makes up the tusks and teeth of numerous animals of land and sea. Tusks are used to brush away vegetation and obstacles to help an animal move through its environment. Therefore, one metaphysical correspondence of ivory is the ability to move through even inhospitable environments successfully. This message of the ivory wish-fulfilling crow is that one does not have to dominate or manipulate others to obtain success. It is enough to align with spirit and trust that your sacred inner work is sufficient to attract whatever is needed to manifest your higher purpose. You can obtain what you seek by becoming and radiating, rather than through contriving or manipulating. You don't need to be more powerful than oppressive forces to overcome them. In connection with your heart temple of spirit, you can be empowered to proceed on your path with abundance, wisdom, and joy. It's about being in balance. This hits home. And I hope it hits home with some of you too. seek the harmony within your heart space. Treat this world as if it is collapsing. And are you going to leave others on the side of the road? You know, obviously, if they look like they're going to murder you, no, don't stop. But in the event of things that do occur, we're not looking at people for what they are in the outside world in their bodily expression of themselves. We are looking at people as souls. So when you can start doing that and stop the judging and criticizing and hating and being divisive on all kinds of levels, be constructive. Yeah, people are assholes. I used to be one. I used to be very destructive with my words and very dangerous in my actions. And when I learned to stop and look at a greater picture and alchemize my energy and transmute the inharmony within my heart, a lot of things started to change and a lot of amazing insights started flowing and being downloaded into me. You have to surrender. Make sure that you try, if you have those, speakers, Bluetooth speakers, you're interested in trying a Hertz. Linda Good McGillis suggested 174 Hertz. But you could try any Hertz and put it next or near or as close to the bathtub or shower, wherever you clean yourself. And try playing it for a half an hour, however long it takes you to shower, and really meditate in there and take in the energy and see the light flowing and the negative washing off of you. I had a lot of interesting sound pockets in my brain, and I felt a little weird. I felt like I was going to throw up, like the purge was going to happen, and thankfully I didn't. But I think it was cool. And then I put it on the beanbag for Morgan and played it for a half an hour. And I don't think she liked it so much, but she didn't really get up either. So I just want my baby to be at her end stage of life to be comfy and cozy as much as I could possibly do that for her. And yeah, I just hope more people that are on the same journey as me in the political sphere grow up, mature, be constructive, not destructive. You wouldn't go tell, you look at art and some stuff you don't understand and you think it is a piece of shit. But are you going to tell that person that like poured their heart into something that it is? Or are you going to say, oh, if it was me and if I was doing that painting, I might have made that color choice differently, and stuff that won't really harm and hurt and bring frequency down. Like, hey, Allison, maybe next time you should incorporate instead of white, purple, or add some yellow flowers in here. Or maybe don't put so much in, have it really minimalized, right? That's ways of just giving someone suggestion and not really ripping somebody a new one, because even if they do deserve it, when you treat people who are in being negative, tell them with kindness. I try to do that as much as I humanly can. And that there's people that still are just verbally spewing their shit. And that reflects on them. And, I feel sorry for them. I'm going to send them love and hope that they change their mindset to see that being stuck in calling people names and just saying, well, that person's a witch. And okay, and that's another thing. Stop generalizing. My family was and are Jewish, should I denounce and hate them because of other people's perceptions and what is being spewed out there? I still have my family. They still help me. They shaped me for who I am. My parents didn't enforce religion on me. My parents only asked me to try, and I was able to go to church. I was able to go and do different things. My parents never held that against me. And that's why I chose them to be my parents. It showed me the ugly. Trust me. Not from them, but from other family members. But it gave me a broader and bigger picture. That doesn't mean I'm going to hate them for their ignorance and indoctrination and manipulation that they know nothing about. They're programmed. So is almost everybody else. So when you can objectively look at things and objectively understand where people are, doesn't mean you got to tolerate what they say or absorb their energy. I can go over there and look from a distance. And sometimes I think that's my best course of action in some instances. We'll see what happens. But just a pondering and some cards. Not too many. I'm going to probably get some work done and hopefully lay down. I'm exhausted. And sending each and every one of you love, light, compassion, grace, shielding, protection, authentic, and growth mindset energy. Create the reality that we are all looking forward to and not theirs. I hope all of you have and had an amazing President's Day, an amazing weekend. Please have a safe, beautiful, blessed week ahead. And I hope to see you guys on the next one. And I'm hoping things calm down a bit, that I can get back doing readings almost every day. I am sorry for those who are loving those books. And it's like, honey girl, what's going on? Life, but it's coming, guys. And until the next one, guys, thank you. Gratitude and appreciation to all of you. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.